Good evening, everybody. It's Oz. I am going to be doing a 6-part podcast. I'm going to be doing it in hopefully 7 to 10 minute blocks, and it's going to be called The Democracy Taken Hostage. And I'd like to start with tonight, which is section 1, which is foreign policy by proxy. So I just want to say that this is not the country that I've grown up in. And I think we've reached a point now where the British state no longer acts in its own interest anymore. It doesn't speak for its people. It doesn't speak with any moral clarity anymore. And it certainly doesn't act, in my opinion, like a sovereign nation anymore. It seems to me what we are now is a junior partner in a genocide. Because if your government is sending weapons to a military regime that's bombing refugee camps, if your air bases are being used to refuel warplanes en route to murder aid workers, if your defence contractors are supplying the surveillance tools that are used to hunt civilians down, then you're not neutral anymore. We're not a democracy anymore. We are, in fact, an accomplice to genocide. And that's exactly what Britain has become. An accomplice to the ethnic cleansing of Gaza. A silent partner in starvation, a logistics hub for genocide. We used to be told that Britain stands for something, that we're a nation of laws, of values, of diplomacy, that when things go too far, when the bombs don't stop, when the children die, Britain would draw a line under that. And no such line is being drawn of late. There is no line anymore, because the war machine doesn't stop at the water's edge anymore. It's running through Whitehall. That's what's happening today. Take RAF Akrotiri in Cyprus, one of the most strategically important bases in the entire Mediterranean, run by the UK, and used right now as a nerve centre in Israel's war on Gaza. Every single day, an RAF surveillance aircraft takes off from that base. It flies down to Gaza's coastline, and then it enters a tight, looping pattern, back and forth all day, hour after hour, hugging the coastline like a predator. And this isn't speculation. It's verified. Matt Kennard and other independent journalists have followed these flights daily. They have brought us the news of them on a daily basis. These planes are circling over northern Gaza, southern Gaza, and they just keep going in a pattern. And what this plane is doing is it's watching. It records, it collects data, then it hands that data to the Israeli military. Data that's used to select targets, to refine bombings, to eliminate human beings. According to multiple reports, British aid workers that were killed in Gaza may have been identified with the help of this exact surveillance system. So let's be very, very clear. Our own Royal Air Force is helping Israel hunt people down. Not defend itself, not carry out military logistics, but hunt people down. That's what our RAF is doing today in Gaza. Human beings, children, paramedics, journalists, doctors, anyone and everything. This plane doesn't carry bombs, by the way, but it does help target people and drop them for you. And no one in government is stopping it, because Britain doesn't make foreign policy anymore. Tel Aviv does. Washington does. Lockheed Martin does. Just not us. And when the Israeli military needed backup, as was the case in the last month, when they wanted new F-35 parts, when they needed support for their supply chains, Britain was there. Not just passively, but actively, supplying components, providing intelligence, hosting their arms factories in Leicester, in Kent, in Bristol. British soil is being used to build the machinery of death here. That's what Elbit Systems is. It's Israel's largest arms firm. Has 10 sites in the UK. 10. Not one, not two, not three. 10. And what do they produce? They produce drone parts, surveillance tech, weapons guidance systems, and every single bit of it is used to maintain the apartheid regime of Israel and its war machine on its journey to the destruction of human life. 2.2 million people are now 1.85 million. We've helped. Palestine Action exposed them. They didn't just hold signs. They shut the factories down. They climbed walls. They poured red paint across the glass. They locked themselves up to the doors. They risked everything to disrupt the supply chain of murder. That's what they've done. And what did our government do? Did they investigate Elbit? Did they ask how much British weaponry has ended up in the Gaza Strip? No, not a word. What they've done is they've criminalised the protesters. They've banned the truth tellers. They've made it illegal to resist. And now we learn something even darker. That Israel isn't even doing this alone. There are strong indicators right now. The British Special Forces, the SAS, may be directly involved on the ground in Gaza or supporting operations from nearby. But you won't hear that from the BBC. Do you know why? Because the government has issued a D notice. For those of you that don't know what a D notice is, it's a legal gag order to media outlets telling them, don't touch this story. The British public is being deliberately being kept in the dark here. They're not allowed to know this information. And the killing itself, it's gone fully digital. Palantir is being used now. Israel is using artificial intelligence to pick its targets. There's a program called Lavender. This automatically flags suspected militants based on vague metadata and mobile usage. And there's another one called Where's Daddy? A grotesque name for an AI system designed to track family movements so that when the father is home, they bomb the entire house. That's how you hear about whole bloodlines of families being wiped out because of this AI. They've wiped out every single person in a family of 52. It's not military precision here. It's mass automated murder. And Britain is backing this financially, militarily, and politically. Now, this is what happens when you design policy and it's not your own. When your allegiances isn't to your people, but to your partners in profit and ethnic cleansing and apartheid. When your allegiances are to the lobbyists, the defence firms, and the ministers who are whispering behind closed doors on how they should help Israel, you know what's happening. Because this country, my country, your country, doesn't just sell weapons to Israel. It trains alongside them. It shares surveillance technology. It helps refine drone systems. It takes part in naval drills. It grants export licenses for sniper rifles, night scope vision, riot gear, armoured vehicles. It makes sure that Israel has the tools it needs, not to defend itself, but to finish the job of murder, the job of flattening Gaza, the job of displacing now 1.85 million people, the job of rewriting a people out of existence. And when that job is being televised, when we can see the bodies, the blood, the hunger, the amputations, the shooting, the assassination of children, bullets to the head, what does the British government say? Nothing. Not a word. Because they've already chosen a side. And that side isn't Britain. It's not sovereignty. It's not decency or diplomacy or restraint. That side is Tel Aviv. That side is Raytheon. That side is BlackRock, State Street, BAE, whatever other death-dealing corporation happens to bankroll both front benches in Parliament. Both sides. We are no longer a sovereign country. We are no longer a neutral country. We are no longer a civilized country anymore. We're a state with a flag and no soul. A flag that covers the crimes of empire and now the crimes of apartheid. I'm going to end it here, and tomorrow night I'm going to do part 2 of Democracy Taken Hostage. Thank you for watching.